Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon.
We started with population. Now we'll be learning more about it. Just introduction I had given last period. One of you tell me what is the definition for population? Steffi can say.
A population is a group of individuals of
What
same
is the
species.
Steffi,
Ma'am,
you are at home, no?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, 1 minute.
The bird, pet bird is it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, should I continue?
Now you can.
A population is a group of individuals of same species that live in a given geographical area.
Finished.
That share or complete similar resources.
Oh, you know to read. You know to read.
The last part I didn't know.
I read once and answer it quickly without. You may read once. Read. Over. Now close that and tell me the answer.
Ma'am, I didn't read. I'm reading.
Read. Michael, you say it once so that she can also hear.
Population is a group of individuals of the same species that live in a similar geographical area.
Hmm.
They share and compete for resources and reproduce.
Heard, Steffi?
Yes, ma'am.
Say.
A
Repeat.
population is a group of individuals of same species that live in a given geographical area that compete for the same resources and reproduce.
Okay, I think your pet bird also learned the answers. Okay, so that is about population. We learned a few examples also. One example, Nandana.
Rats in an abandoned.
Now we are going to learn about different attributes of population. We'll start with the first one, birth rate. Based on birth rate and death rate, usually some sums or problems they used to ask 1 mark and all. So it is very important that you know the formula and you should know how to, very simple. Those who are learning maths and all, this is nothing, but still you should know. If you don't know the formula, you won't be able to calculate it. So in previous question papers, I've seen such questions, 1 mark. It refers to per capita birth. So birth rate means it is the per capita births. For example, in a pond, there are 20 lotus plants. Last year, there were, just a minute, there were 20 lotus plants last year, and through reproduction, 8 new plants are added, and you need to calculate the birth rate. Okay, so for calculating the birth rate, what you do is current population. You should know the current population and the new plants, newly formed plants or newly formed or newly, what to say, born animals, if it is in the case of animals. And then you have to divide the new ones, newly joined or newly formed organisms divided by the total number, or the current population. Current population means 20 were there last year. This year 8 are added. So current population is 28. So upon 28, you have to write the newly added plant. So 8 out of 20, which will give you 0.4 offspring per lotus per year. So that is the birth rate. Okay, children. So similarly, death rate also you have to calculate. You should know to calculate. Per capita means per person or per individual. So per capita, per individual or per organism births. Per head in that sense. Okay, it refers to per capita births. And the example given here is that of lotus plants. 20 lotus plants were there already. Last year, there were 20 lotus plants, and this year, 8 new plants are added. And if you're asked to calculate the birth rate, you have to divide the newly formed one upon the total or the current population. Current population means what was present last year plus the one or those plants which are added this year. So 8 by 20, which is equal to point. Just a minute, children. I'll repeat once again. We were discussing about different population attributes. The first one that we discussed was birth rate. Birth rate is per capita birth. And here the example given is in a pond, there were 20 lotus plants last year. And by means of reproduction, 8 new plants are being added or 8 new plants are formed. And for calculating the birth rate, it is not the current population that we have to see, means that we have to use for calculating, but the population, the original population. And upon original population is the denominator, as the numerator, you have to add the newly formed or newly added one. The newly added organisms divided by the original population. So 20 was present last year. So upon 20, you have to put the number that has been newly added. So 8 upon 20, that is 0.4 is the birth rate. But if the current population, present population, if it is asked, that is last year it was 20, this year 8 is added. So presently we have 28 lotus plants. Hope you understood. So that confusion is cleared, I think. I'll repeat again. The first population attribute is birth rate. Birth rate is per capita births. That means per person or per individual births. And here the example is of lotus plants. Last year, 20 lotus plants were there and 8 were added this year. 8 are added this year. And presently the population will be 28, both added together. But if you need to calculate the rate of population, the rate of the birth rate, then we have to divide the newly formed individuals or newly formed organisms by the original population, the earlier population. So 8 divided by 20 will give you 0.4. That is the birth rate. 0.4 plants per lotus per year or offsprings per lotus per year. Similarly, death rate is also calculated. The same formula is being used. It refers to per capita deaths. Birth rate is per capita births and here it is per capita deaths. 4 individuals in a laboratory population of 40 fruit flies died. So altogether there were 40 fruit flies, but 4 of them died. The original population was 40. So over a week, within a week, 4 of them died. So the death rate is 4 upon 40. And the current population is, what is the current population then? 30? 40 were there. 4 of them died. What is the current population?
36.
36. And the death rate is 0.1, 4 upon 40. The number of organisms died divided by the total number of flies present originally, the original population. So 4 upon 40, that is equal to 0.1 individuals per fruit fly per week. That is the death rate. You want to see it again towards the end, we'll see, okay, after completing the different population attributes. Next is about sex ratio. So in every population, there will be a sex ratio. And for example, you can say in a particular population, 60% is females and 40% is males. You can define sex ratio as the ratio of males to females in a population. A population has got a sex ratio. We usually say this much percentage of females, this much percentage of males. So for example, you can say 60% of the population is females and 40% males. So sex ratio is the ratio of males to females in a population. So then moving on to the next one, age pyramid. Age pyramid is the structure that we get when the age distribution is plotted for the population. If the age distribution for a given population is plotted, you get age pyramid. Age distribution means the percent of individuals belonging to a particular age group. You know that in a population, the individuals will be belonging to different age groups. So if you plot the age distribution or individuals, percentage of individuals belonging to different age groups, then you will get age pyramid. For human population, age pyramids show age distribution of males and females in a combined diagram, which means that we don't differentiate males and females differently, or those are not calculated differently. Both males and females will be shown in the same diagram, same age pyramid. There is no separate age pyramids for males and females. Both number are shown. Only the age is taken as a criteria, not the gender. So here you can see different age pyramids for different populations. And this is also very important. Sometimes they will ask you to draw it, or the figure can be given and you will be asked to identify. So you should know, as I always used to say, each and every diagram in your textbook is equally important. And children, here you can see different colors are being used. And what is shown in yellow color indicates the percentage of individuals in the pre-reproductive stage, means children, those who have not reached their reproductive phase, whereas the young individuals who are in the reproductive phase is shown in blue color, and those which are shown in pink color belong to the post-reproductive, the percentage of people in post-reproductive age, those who cannot reproduce, those who have become infertile, depending upon the age, those who cannot reproduce, they are grouped under pre-reproductive group, and their percentage is shown in pink color. So in the first case, you can see this age pyramid indicates that the population is expanding or growing, whereas in stable one, in the stable one, the age pyramid or the population is stable, neither declining nor growing. Whereas in the third case, you can see that population is declining. Population or the number of individuals there is declining. In the first case, the population is expanding, increasing, whereas in the second case, it is stable. Neither it is balanced, neither declining or increasing. In expanding, you can see a broad base, because there the number of individuals in the post reproductive stage will be high, and those who are belonging to the pre-reproductive stage will be more, and post reproductive stage is less. So when the individuals belonging to pre-reproductive stage is more than those who are present in, or those individuals present in the post-reproductive stage, you can understand that it is in the growing stage. Because if the number of people in the, or the percentage of people in the pre-reproductive stage is more, there is no advantage of having an increase in the number of individuals belong to that category, because they cannot increase the number of population, because they have completed their reproductive phase. They cannot reproduce further, so they will not contribute to the increase in population. And in expanding one, you can see the least percentage will be that of the people in the post reproductive phase, whereas the other two will be more, and you can see a broader base, because individuals belonging to the pre-reproductive stage will be more. And in stable, you can see more or less similar percentage of individuals belonging to different categories. Whereas in the declining, you can see the base is very narrow, and more individuals are found in the, or the percentage of individuals belonging to the post reproductive phase, they are more. So why we say declining is, so those individuals belonging to post reproductive category, they cannot contribute to the increase in the population. So that is why we say this population, the third one, is declining. Hope you are understanding what I mean to say. I'll repeat it again. Here, what you can see is the age pyramid of different populations. In the first case, you can see it's an expanding population. Why it is expanding is here the base is broad when compared to the individuals under reproductive and pre-reproductive category. Those who are in the post-reproductive category is less. And those who are in the post-reproductive category, they cannot contribute to increase in population because they cannot reproduce. And the other two individuals belonging to other two categories are more. You can see a broader base. And that indicates the number of individuals in that category is more. The lower categories, that means pre-reproductive and reproductive phases are more. So they will help in increasing the population gradually. Whereas in the second case, it is more or less say similar percentage. So it is considered to be a stable population, neither declining, neither increasing or expanding. And in the third one, you can see it is declining because those individuals in the pre-reproductive phase is very less, and those which are in the post-reproductive phase are more when compared to those who are in the pre-reproductive phase. So that is considered to be a declining, declining age pyramid. Scope for improvement, scope for increase in population is less. And what is an age pyramid? Age pyramid is a structure when you plot the age distribution for a given population. It is different for different populations. And age distribution means the individuals, percentage of individuals belonging to different age categories or different age groups. And in human, if you take the case of human population, when you prepare or when you plot age pyramids, it's a combined diagram based on the gender. We are not preparing, or for males and females, different age pyramids are not prepared. It's just in combined diagram. Only the criteria used is the age group and not the gender. Any doubt? No. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you show the slide of sex ratio and death rate?
I will repeat all the attributes. Okay, all the attributes I'll be repeating. Population size or population density, which is denoted by N. Population size or population density. It is a number of individuals of a particular species per unit area or volume. It's a number of individuals belonging to a particular species per unit area or volume, that is known as population density. Example, population density of Siberian cranes at Bharatpur wetlands in any year is less than 10. Okay, because they are not natives of that region. They migrate to that region from Siberia just to tide over the unfavorable condition, or just to escape from the colder climate. They migrate to Bharatpur. So there the population, every year the population density means the number of Siberian cranes per unit area, if you calculate, it will be less than 10. Whereas if you take the case of Chlamydomonas, do you remember? It's a unicellular algae. It's a unicellular alga, and it is millions for Chlamydomonas. So this algae is found in pond and in millions. So that means it's being microscopic. They are microscopic in structure. So they are, their population density is million in a pond. So if you consider a pond, you can see millions of them. So the population density of Chlamydomonas is millions in a pond. Per pond, it is in number will be in millions. So its population size is huge when compared to the population density or size of Siberian cranes, which will be less than 10. That is Chlamydomonas. It's very microscopic alga. It's a microscopic alga, and that is why its number is in millions per pond. Number of individuals of a given species per unit area or volume. Population size is also measured in percentage cover of biomass in terms of the organic matter present in them. Not only by counting in terms of number, you can even measure them in terms of biomass. So here you can see in an area, 200 Parthenium plants. Parthenium is a weed. Weed. Weed, you know, no? Usually found in crops, crop fields, and which we remove for the main plants or crop plants to grow healthy. And a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy. So here we are given two cases. So on one side we have 200 Parthenium plants, and on the other side a single banyan tree, but it's very huge with a large canopy. And if you're just counting the number, the population density of Parthenium plants will be more. So sometimes, depending upon the situation, we will have to determine the population density using the organic matter. Here, counting them or calculating the population density based on the number will be meaningless. Measuring percentage cover or biomass is more meaningful to show the importance of banyan tree. See that banyan tree and 200 Parthenium plants. So the population density has got so much difference. But if you just consider it or calculate it based on the number, that will be senseless. So in some cases, we will have to calculate the population density by considering the percentage of biomass, the matter present, the organic matter present. So on the basis of that, we will have to calculate. Otherwise, what we will find is the population density of Parthenium. Just number is considered 200 in place of 1. But that 1 is equal to, not equal to, maybe, might be more than hundreds of Parthenium. So that is why at times we will have to depend upon the percentage of organic matter or biomass to calculate the population density. Every time we cannot calculate it purely based on the number. Total number is a difficult measure for a huge population, and counting sometimes become very time consuming. So in the beginning I told it's based on, and we saw some examples also where the population density is calculated by counting the number, like Siberian cranes, Chlamydomonas and all. We said that it is calculated by finding out the number of individuals of a species per unit area or volume. But every time it's not that easy. When you have to measure a huge population, counting these number of organisms will be impossible. So in such cases, relative population density. So without knowing the absolute population density or without knowing the exact population density, we just calculate the relative population density. For example, the number of fish caught per trap indicates the total number of population density in the lake. So if you want to calculate the population density of a particular fish in a lake, it is not that easy to find it out because its population might be very huge and it is not easy to find it out. So then in such cases, we go for relative population density. We don't know the exact population density, but what we do is we like the number of that fish belonging to particular species, its number per trap. So as they are trapping using a net or something, when they trap the fishes, so the number of this particular fish or this species of fish, how many number are coming per trap. So based on that, we assume, we find out relative population density. That is not the exact, but only that is possible in certain cases because it is impossible to find out the entire huge population of fishes in that particular lake or sea or whatever it is.
Ma'am,
Ah,
so what if it were mosquitoes?
mosquitoes also, that may be depending upon the number of bites we get. I'm just joking. So we will come to know the exact because they keep flying. So it's not possible for us to calculate. Here also we will have to go for relative population density. And even if we want also, it's not possible to find out the exact number. And more criteria are there. We have more criteria are there which you're going to see again. Okay. So here you can see this example. Then In some cases, indirect estimation of population sizes is performed without counting, not even seeing them. Sometimes even without seeing, we are going to calculate. Indirect estimation of population sizes is performed without counting or seeing them. Example, tiger census in the national park and tiger reserves. So in such cases, even without seeing the tiger, we are not seeing and counting them. Instead, based on the pug marks, their footprints, and also based on the fecal pellets. So we just assume this might be the, and the mosquito also, what I said, even though I said it as a joke, that also can be considered. So depending on, sometimes when the number is huge, we will not be able to sit at home. So they'll be continuously biting us. And that is there also, that exact absolute density. It's not that easy to calculate. Then we have to go for alternative methods, not by exactly counting them. When relative population density can be counted, can be calculated. See, these are the pug marks. So based on the pug marks present, that will not be the exact number. We cannot say that when you calculate the relative population density by the different methods that we saw, like indirectly estimating, it will not give you the exact number, but an approximate number we can find out by using all these techniques, all these methods. Okay, once again, we will see the points that we discussed. We started with the different population attributes. The first one that we discussed was birth rate, and birth rate is per capita births. And example also we learned. In this example, we learned that how to calculate the population, the birth rate of lotus plants. 20 lotus plants were present in the previous year and 8 new plants were added. So we can calculate the birth rate of these lotus plants by dividing the newly formed plants, the number of newly formed plants by the original population, that is 20. 8 upon 20, you will get 0.4. And the current population is 20, which was present already, plus 8 newly added, it is 28. Similarly, death rate is per capita deaths. And the example given here is that of fruit fly. In a laboratory, 40 fruit flies for the experimental purpose. 40 fruit flies were there, and out of these, 4 died. So the death rate can be calculated by dividing 4 upon 40. 4, the number of fruit flies died, and the initial population or the original population, that is 40, and that is equal to 0.1 individuals per fruit fly per week. So this 4 individuals or 4 fruit flies died within a week. That is why it is said per week. In the previous one, we said it is per year. Okay, hope you are remembering what I showed. So this is per year because 8 of them were formed within a year. But in the second example, 4 died within a week. That is why it is written 0.1 individual per fruit fly per week. And the present population, current population will be 40 were there, 4 died, so 36. Then sex ratio, a population is having a sex ratio. Sex ratio indicates the ratio of males to females. For example, you can say 60% of the population is males and 40% males. Just an example. And here you saw age pyramid. Age pyramid is a structure, what you get when you plot the age distribution. Age distribution means percentage of individuals belonging to a particular age group. And you will you prepare, or the age pyramids of human beings are not prepared gender wise. It's a combined diagram which is meant for both males and females. The age distribution of males and females are shown in the same diagram. And here you can see different types of age pyramids. One indicates, so from the age pyramid, we'll come to know what type of population it is. It will reflect the growth status of the population. So in the first case, you can see by looking at that, you can understand it is a growing one because the individuals belonging to the pre-reproductive stage is more, and those who are in the reproductive stage will be higher when compared to the individuals in the post-reproductive stage. Whereas a balanced one, you can see in the second diagram, the population is neither declining nor because the birth rate and death rate is being balanced over there. Means it's more or less the same percentage of individuals belonging to different category is more or less the same. So it is considered to be stable, neither declining nor expanding. Whereas in the last one, you can see it is a declining one. If you compare, you can compare the different individuals, the percentage of individuals belonging to different age groups, you will find it is having a narrow base, whereas in the first one it's a broader base, narrow base, and the pre-reproductive stage, there the individuals are very less. So there is no hope for further improvement in the population size or the number of individuals in that population. So it is a declining one, and this topic is very important. Diagram based questions can come. Then we learned about population size and density and different methods for calculating the population density or size, and it is represented by the alphabet N. And in the definition for population size is number of individuals of a species per unit area or volume. Even though the definition is like this, we use different criteria for calculating the population density. Commonly, we calculate it by finding out the number of individuals present per unit area. Two examples are given here. The population of Chlamydomonas in a pond, it is millions per pond, and that of Siberian cranes at Bharatpur wetlands, because they are not the natives of that particular region. They are from Siberia and they come to Bharatpur wetlands during winter season to tide over the cold weather present in Siberia. So it is will be less than 10 every year. And when you calculate it in terms of number, always it may not be acceptable or it doesn't make sense at times. So here one example is given, that of Parthenium plants, 200 Parthenium plants in an area, when it is compared with a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy. In terms of number, if you see, the population density of Parthenium plants will be more. So in such cases, we calculate it in terms of the percentage of biomass. And here you can see the population density. From the diagram itself, it is clear that the population density of banyan tree is much, much more than that of Parthenium plants. Then another method of calculating population density is by finding out the relative population density. The exact or absolute density will be impossible at times to calculate. For example, the number of fish in a lake. So in such cases, we just assume based on the example given here is the fish caught per trap. So how many, the number of fishes in each trap. So based on, this is repeated several times. So based on that, they assess the relative population density, which can slightly deviate from the exact population density, but we get approximate population density. Then next is by indirectly estimating the population sizes, and at times it becomes impossible to count them, or it's not that easy to find out or see the organisms and count them, as in the case of tiger census in national parks. So there those who are doing this, or those who are taking the census, they rely on the pug marks and the fecal pellets. So based on that, they assess what will be the population density of tigers in that particular national park. So that is what we learned about population density. There are different techniques or different methods to calculate the population density. So before we proceed to population growth, let me see how far you have understood. Okay, you can start. Somebody voluntarily begin.
Birth rate refers to the
Tanya, congratulations for taking the initiative. Yes.
birth rate refers to the per capita births.
Okay. Continue.
Example, if there were 12 lotus plants in a pond, 8 were produced. So the birth rate will be 8/20.
Okay, all those examples you need not say, just per capita. Per capita, births is known as birth rate. Evelyn,
Next one is death rate.
Hmm.
Per capita death is called as the death rate.
how do you calculate?
We calculate by number of organism died by initial population.
Okay. Anthony,
Population density is the population density
Hmm.
is a number of
which was the third one that we discussed, Anthony? I'll give you a clue. Sex ratio. What is sex ratio?
that's right. So, it is a number of males and females in
Percentage of males and females, or the ratio of males to females in a population. Then, what else we learned? What else we learned? One example. Just assume and say it may not be exact, no? 60% of
60% of women and 40%
males, and then what will be the remaining?
females.
Okay, okay. Then, Meenakshi,
Age pyramid is the structure obtained by the age distribution of a population.
age distribution for a given population.
Population.
Noted. What is age distribution, Naureen? What do you mean by age distribution?
It is the percent of individuals of a given age or an age group.
Okay, then what are the 3 types of age pyramids, Michael? Just the names. 3 types of age pyramids.
Growing age pyramid,
Growing, what is the other name?
growing, declining, and
No, growing, what is the other name? You should know. I have told you earlier also, if more than one name is given, you should learn that also. Growing, or it is,
expanding,
yes, expanding. Then second one,
declining,
and the next one.
stable.
Okay, what else we learned, Gayatri?
Population density.
Population density. Okay, what is meant by population density?
Is the number of individuals of a species in a unit area.
Okay, what are the different methods, or give me an example also?
Siberian cranes at Parakpur wetlands are less than 10%.
Less than?
10%.
Okay, 10. Okay, any year. If you take every year or any year, it will be less than 10. Then, what are the other methods other than just finding out the number of individuals per unit area? Rijas, another method?
For huge population, we take relative population density.
Give me an example.
For fishes in a pond, we take the number of fishes caught in a net.
Per trap. Okay, calculate. And based on that, the relative population density is found out. Then, Donna,
Relative population density.
yes?
Since it's difficult to count an entire population, we use relative
That
population
he said,
density.
no, Rija said. Other than relative, counting the number of individuals or finding out the relative population density instead of absolute density, then the third method,
Biomass.
in terms of it is calculated based on the percentage of biomass. Can you give an example?
200 plants and a single huge banyan tree.
So that banyan tree is having a large canopy, it's very huge. So in terms of organic matter, or sorry, in terms of the biomass present, its population density will be more when compared to 200 Parthenium plants in an area. In terms of number, Parthenium plants will be, their number will be more. But if you take the biomass, which one will exceed in population density?
Banyan tree.
Banyan tree. Okay, what is next, Punya?
Sometimes we have to indirectly measure the population density,
Hmm.
as in the case of tigers in national parks and tiger reserves.
Hmm.
We use the pug marks and fecal pellets to measure
Okay.
the number of
Okay.
tigers.
Now let me take the attendance. Oh,
What is fecal pellets?
fecal pellets means it's excreta.
Okay.
Pellets, they excrete it in the form of pellets. So thank you. See you next class. Come prepared for the test. Bye.